Emmerdale death spoilers for next week, 17th to 21st February. Tragedy strikes Emmerdale. After the devastating limo crash, the village is in chaos, and at least one beloved character won't make it out alive. But who will meet their heartbreaking end? And just when you think the drama couldn't get any worse, something is seriously wrong with Noah. But what is he hiding? Stick around, because this week's twists will leave you speechless. Subscribe now for all the latest Emmerdale spoilers, theories, and exclusive updates. Don't miss a second of the drama. Who makes it out alive? This week's Emmerdale spoilers are absolutely explosive, and trust us, you are not ready for the chaos that's about to unfold. We're talking life or death situations, shocking twists, and heartbreak that will have fans reeling. If you thought the Valentine celebrations were going to be all love and romance, think again. It all kicked off with what was meant to be a bit of fun. A simple Valentine's raffle at the Woolpack, with a fancy limo ride as the grand prize. But what started as a light-hearted competition quickly spiralled into something far more dangerous. Liam had big plans to propose to Chaz, but his well-laid plans kept getting knocked back at every turn. Still, nothing was going to stop him from popping the question, and that determination led him straight into the heart of the unfolding disaster. With the village split between two limos, one full of the ladies and the other packed with the lads, it should have been a fun night out. But with tension simmering and secrets lurking beneath the surface, it was only a matter of time before things took a dark turn. Caleb, still fuming over Cain's betrayal with Ruby, was out for blood. Behind the wheel and running on pure rage, he finally let loose, confronting Cain in what quickly became an explosive showdown. Meanwhile, in the other limo, Charity was trying to keep things under control, but fate had other plans. Then came the moment that changed everything. In a split second, disaster struck. Not once, but twice. Caleb's reckless driving led his limo straight into an oncoming truck, forcing him to swerve at the last second. At the same time, Noah stumbled into the road, sending Charity into a panic as she tried to avoid him. The result? Both limos lost control, veering wildly off the road. And that's when the nightmare really began. One of the limos crashed through the ice of a frozen lake, leaving its passengers in a truly terrifying situation. At first, it wasn't clear which limo had been trapped, but as the ice cracked and the vehicle began to sink, the reality set in. This was a fight for survival. Inside the limo, chaos reigned. The impact left several injured, some unconscious, and panic set in fast. But the worst part? Someone wasn't breathing. While some frantically tried to escape, others fought to save their friends, knowing full well that not everyone was going to make it out alive. Outside, a desperate rescue effort unfolded, but time was running out. A hand reached into the freezing water, pulling a drowning passenger to safety. But was it too late? The cold, the injuries, the sheer terror of the situation? It was all too much. And before the night was over, at least one beloved character was gone forever. As the injured were rushed to Houghton General, emotions ran high. But for Jacob, who was on shift in A&E, the horror of the accident hit even harder. Seeing the people he loved fighting for their lives in front of him was more than he could handle. And by the time the week ended, the village was left grieving, wondering how they would ever recover from such a devastating loss. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, the production team pulled off an incredible feat to make this disaster feel as real as possible. That frozen lake? It wasn't actually a lake at all. It was the Emmerdale cast and crew's car park. For weeks, it was transformed into an icy death trap, complete with deep pits, waterproofed and filled with water to create the illusion of a sinking vehicle. And the actors? They gave it everything. According to director Vicky Thomas, this was some of the best acting Emmerdale has seen in years. The raw emotions, the sheer panic, the desperate attempts to survive. It was all captured brilliantly, making these episodes some of the most gripping in the show's history. But beyond the shock and spectacle, the real weight of this storyline lies in its aftermath. The repercussions of this night will be felt for a long time, changing the lives of Emmerdale's residents forever. Some will be left broken, struggling to move on. Others will be filled with guilt, haunted by the what-ifs. And for those who make it out alive, the question remains: what happens next? One thing's for sure, Emmerdale fans are in for an emotional roller coaster. The grief, the fallout, the consequences of every action taken on that fateful night. It's all coming, and it's going to hit hard. So, who doesn't make it? Who will the village be mourning by the end of the week? And what does this mean for the future of some of our favourite characters? Make sure you're ready, because next week is set to be one of the most unforgettable weeks in Emmerdale history. Don't forget to subscribe for more updates, theories, and breakdowns. We'll be covering every twist and turn as the drama unfolds. You won't want to miss a second of it. What's happened to Noah? Mystery surrounds why Noah was wandering the road in the dead of night. What was he doing out there alone? Something clearly isn't right, and when he's taken to hospital, the questions only start piling up. But things take an even stranger turn when his half-brother Joe shows up, acting more concerned than anyone expected. The two hadn't exactly been on the best of terms recently. Noah had made it clear that he wasn't going to Dubai with Joe, choosing to stay in the village instead. That decision didn't sit well with Joe, who'd been trying to manipulate him into leaving by secretly tanking his business. Dodgy reviews, sudden cancellations. Noah's electrician career was taking a hit, and he couldn't figure out why. Then came the lowest blow. When bad reviews weren't enough to change his mind, Noah's tools mysteriously vanished overnight. With his business in ruins, he had no choice but to reconsider his options. Left with nothing, he told Joe he'd changed his mind. Dubai suddenly seemed like the only way forward. For a moment, it seemed like Joe had won. But just when he thought he'd pulled it off, the truth came crashing down. As the two celebrated their upcoming move in the wool pack, Noah and Charity blindsided Joe with a brutal revelation. They'd found the stolen tools in a pawn shop and knew exactly who had taken them. Caught red-handed, Joe had no excuse. Furious that his scheme had backfired, he stormed out. Fast forward to now, and Joe's sudden appearance at the hospital is raising eyebrows. Is he here out of genuine concern, or is there something more to it? Noah certainly isn't in any state to figure it out. And then the bombshell drops. A doctor tells Noah he may have been spiked. The news hits hard. Who would do that to him? And why? If that wasn't unsettling enough, Noah soon starts experiencing strange flashbacks. He's in a hospital, but not this one. Somewhere private, somewhere unfamiliar. The images are hazy, fragmented, but they're enough to leave him shaken. He doesn't understand what's happening, but one thing is clear. Something isn't adding up. And what about Joe? His behaviour is far from reassuring. Is he just worried? Or is there something darker at play? Could he be involved in what happened to Noah? The timing is suspicious, and given his recent actions, it's not a stretch to think he might know more than he's letting on. As the week comes to a close, the police sit down with Noah to go over what happened. But will he be able to piece together any more details? The memories are just out of reach, teasing him with glimpses of the truth. The question is, will he remember in time, or is someone about to get away with something truly sinister? One thing's for sure, this isn't over, not by a long shot. The fallout from Noah's night will ripple through the village, and when the truth finally comes out, it's bound to leave more than a few people reeling. And that's just the beginning. Next week's Emmerdale is shaping up to be one of the most intense, emotional, and jaw-dropping weeks in the show's history. With shocking twists, heartbreaking losses, and unanswered questions, the drama is far from over. Who won't make it out alive? What's really going on with Noah? And how will the village cope with the devastating fallout? One thing's for sure, Emmerdale will never be the same again. If you don't want to miss a single moment of the action, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you're always up to date with the latest spoilers, theories, and exclusive behind-the-scenes details. And we want to hear from you. Drop your predictions in the comments below. Who do you think won't survive? What's your theory on Noah's mystery? Let's get the discussion going. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time for more Emmerdale drama.